Hey guys and gals, welcome back to my YouTube channel and podcast review. Now, I just want to say I'm sorry I haven't posted in a minute. A boy was sick, and you know me, I had to whip out some of my little home remedies, and I'm basically better now, but I'm still a little sick and under the weather, but I still pulled through it and I did this video, and today's special video is an infamous, underrated film, Babylon, produced and directed by Damon Chazelle, I think his name is. It stars the infamous Margot Robbie, played by Nellie Leroy, which is based off of an actress in real life named Clara Bow, which is literally the exact woman that was like this. Brad Pitt is based off of Johnny Carvered, I think, and Jovan Smart playing as an up-and-coming black musician, Sidney Palmer, and Diego Colave as Manny Torres. All these characters are underrated bombshells of the film, and it's basically about the inspiring, rising popular stars from the 1920s and their unfortunate falls, of how showcasing how Hollywood or dark Hollywood will draw people with money that basically carries value of money and will leave them into the dusk and dawn. Now, firstly, I just wanted to say that every actor and actresses that was depicted in the 1920s and 30s and reenacted it in Babylon did a phenomenal job. I'm shocked and flabbergasted that none of these people got Oscars, Emmys, or Golden Globes for their performances. As a person who's a feminist, Margot Robbie and John Lee did not get any Oscars for this, and they've been in the acting business for years and yet have gotten nothing from this. I mean, they got some awards, but no really high statusing awards. And this is disgusting because these women did a fantastical job showcasing their strengths in the roles. I hate how in interviews these women express how they literally put their whole being into this, and they got filmed, and how they just had to do a lot of bizarre things even in the movie and got no recognition. I hate that this was a bombshell. When it came down to the males, they did a phenomenal job showcasing the cast of 1920 male actors and their very erratic behavior at the time and sexualness, even at crazy parties, wild events, and the scandals they would get into day to day in filming. I love how the timeline shifts from a wild and crazy fun actor and actresses parties, increases in stress daily from Hollywood, now taking a raunchier, naughty approach, and you can see that with Nellie Leroy, and how now, when it was the 30s, it's taking more of an inspiring blonde woman elegance aesthetic choice. To me, this probably was like this because of the French and European culture moving into American Hollywood in success. I love how you can see how Lily Fang and Nellie Leroy are being looked at as kind of disgusting, and you can see the downfall with our characters representing the lack of that elegance, or that blonde aesthetic is now being up in the rise in the 30s and 40s, and how it's dying in the 20s. One thing you could see is how some of them achieve success so to the point where some of them are dying, some of them are fleeing to get opportunities, some are in Europe, and some are dying even for the addiction or chase of fame. This was really sad to see. I love how it was coming from the perspective of a timeline castle, the rise, the fall, and the fade, and just the fall of doom in general. It was really sad to see through the cinematography of how Hollywood's destroyed these actors and actresses, and how there's just new ones that just come about, and how they instantly just get dropped with the hat and then just fall out, and we just get these new people, and it's like they're not really remembered in a sense. And it makes me wonder if how celebrities go from a lifetime of being remembered, then somebody similar coming to them, and then just replacing them as a whole. Another thing I liked about it is how easy it showcased success for white people, and how for POC characters like people of color, sorry guys, they had to strive for success. In the movie, for example, Leroy gets fame so quickly through her sexual persona and race, but for characters like Sydney, a black musician, and Lady Faye, a musician, and I think she was a lesbian, it took a hell of a lot longer to gain success and stardom, and it didn't last due to being a fascination more than an actual talent like the other white characters were. This is unfortunate because they were used as attraction more than talent, which hurts more than anything. And I think that again, it really does showcase the rise and fall to these characters. Personally, I would really love if they made a sequel or they made it into a trilogy where they showcase how different decade stars are and how they just act in general. And showcasing more of the lines of just how every decade stars act and how Hollywood does differently things with them and how they drop them, just showcasing different circumstances. But also, I don't think that would ever happen, but it would be really cool if it did. But one thing I did take to notice is that is this the story of MGM? Because MGM primarily funded, I think, and like was involved with this movie. But if you think about it, it showcases Hollywood. It showcases Hollywood's success and how they basically did stars back in the day. What makes me curious is if you look at the sponsorships on like the behind the scenes or just more of the lines of just how the actors were, and like you look to see like not the actors but you just look to see the background, you could see MGM. And it makes you think, is this the story of MGM and how they did talent? Like, are they really exposing themselves? I wonder, like, why they did this. But at the end of the day, I give this film a 10 out of 10. Great acting, great captivating stories. I would love to see how they could do different perspectives of other actors in other decades. They need to make a sequel. But I just love how they depicted 1920s actors. I think they did the acting. It was just phenomenal, guys. Have a good day, and that is it for the Alien review.